And now, live from Pod Manor in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison summons her ghouls. She is a thespian who has disembodied such iconic roles as Jabberjaw, Ultra Death Woman, and Squiddly Diddly. It's Niccole Thurman. He's a dramatist and a jokesmith who is not one of the hitchhiking ghosts, but he will be following you home. It's Jordan Morris. Tone Zone is here to distract what's left of your wife's dwindling attention with the sweet siren song of professional wrestling. I'm her long-suffering husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the Doom Buggy and say to your last best friend, Allison Rosen.
Hello, my little caramel frosted pumpkin cookies. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular seasonal carbohydrate was sent in by Brett Kruskop on Patreon. Yes,
Patreon.
I am on Patreon. All sorts of fun stuff. Just released a special Patreon bonus episode of The Friend Zone. That's my Patreon bonus podcast with Mary Catherine Ham. She gave us all the details on her fourth pregnancy, which is crazy. And we went into all sorts of other stuff, a very complicated career situation she has found herself in, and a lot of details on her hair. I mean, we answered your questions. We went behind the scenes. There were technical issues before it started, and I was sure it was her fault. And I was going to walk her through it. And then it turned out it was 100% my fault. And that was a humbling experience. And I grew from it. And we talked about it. I mean, I'm really giving it all away here. But there's still more audio and video. And also there's a level where you can text me and I'll text you back. If you're not subscribed to my Patreon, what are you waiting for? And if you sign up for a year, you get 2 months free.
That's a good deal.
You guys heard that too, right? That wasn't just in my head. Okay, so I am very, very, very excited to welcome to the show these people. And by the way, this is in person. We are sitting in the studio right now. I am seeing a small bug in the corner of the studio.
Oh, no.
And there's not just, it's just up there, guys. And it's that thing. Yeah, Jordan, it's your...
I have had it with these bugs.
Yeah, it's like... Normally, there's just 2 eyeballs taking in the majesty of a unwanted bug. But right now, there's so many eyeballs on the bug, and that makes me feel a sense of community that I've missed all these years. Niccole Thurman, your first time in person. It's my first time hugging you.
Our first time hugging IRL. This is exciting.
I know. Hello.
Hello.
You're taller than I expected.
I am.
Although I'm remembering when we talked on, because you've now been on the Thursday show and we did a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And I'm remembering that you mentioned you were tall. So it shouldn't be a surprise.
Right.
And yet still it was a little bit.
It always, I feel the same way. Whenever I meet somebody from Zoom, I'm always surprised by any proportion of their body. Like I'm like either taller, shorter, wider, smaller.
Yeah.
They're always different than I expect them to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm 5'9", so I'm pretty tall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm kind of like right down the middle.
Yeah. I feel like that's like more average for women, 5'6". 5'9" is average for men. I know that because I'm 5'9".
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like men would tell you that's not the average for men.
They would probably just say 6 feet because 6 feet is just a number that men say as a number.
Right.
It's the only number they know. Yeah.
In fact, my husband, whom I will introduce right now. Hi, Daniel.
Careful.
Are you... This is a little bit...
Like, how tall am I?
Are you 6 feet, but really you're like just a hair under 6 feet?
I am not 6 feet. I am half an inch shorter.
Okay, that is you. I couldn't remember which husband of mine.
But I'm usually
it was.
honest about that. It bums me out that I couldn't just, whatever, eat my Wheaties like for a few more weeks when I was 15 and get to 6 feet. But there it is.
Do you say like 5'11" and a half when people
if
ask you?
People ask me, I'll tell them that because I feel like I don't know. Like I'm so bad at lying. I assume that everyone just knows. Like I can see that's a half inch. Oh, you fucking lie.
Because if someone says exactly 6 feet, you're like,
right,
yeah, right,
right, yeah. But no one's gonna think you're lying if you say 5'11" and a half. Like why would you ever lie about that?
Okay,
yeah.
I'm actually 5'5" and like 3/4 or and a half or something. So I also feel compelled to come clean.
Look
right
at that!
now.
Look at that! The light of truth has forced you to come out of the shadows.
Niccole, are you 5'9", 5'9"?
Straight up 5'9".
Really?
I don't think there's any quarters or any other amounts.
Listen, when
Must
you wake
be
up in the
nice.
morning, when you wake up in the morning, you're a little taller than at night. So maybe
Really?
maybe
Is it
I am
because you
6
get
feet in the
beaten
morning.
down throughout the day by life? You're just like,
I
You just
assumed it
slump.
had something
Yeah,
to
you
do
just
with
start
urine.
slumping.
Like you're too full of
yeah,
maybe
you're too
the
full of pee.
urine.
Yeah.
The urine
gives
pulls you down.
Right.
No,
It
it's
extends
gravity.
you in some way.
Gravity during the day will your bones start to compact a little more, but when you sleep, it comes back.
It's like gross.
that is.
I'm not
gross.
into that.
Gravity's so gross.
Fucking gross. Yeah.
If it was that you get beaten down, I was thinking that's more reason to wait to look at Twitter.
Oh yeah, you just wait until you feel like being a little shorter.
A little
and then you
shorter.
just take a
Yeah.
nap.
Right, like if you're going to the doctor, don't read Twitter before so that you can get a higher.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or
You
if
want to
you're-
get on a roller
Yes,
coaster.
that's exactly where I was gonna go.
Right.
Jordan Morris,
Hi.
welcome to the show.
Hi, it's good to be here.
Hi. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah.
As my very wee husband pointed out when you first entered, your hair is doing that light swimmy thing that it
is.
does.
I've been taking my swimming more seriously. So it's my normally chestnut hair is now a kind of Mark McGrathy blonde.
Oh my god! You know you went to my high school.
I was setting you up for that. If
Oh my god! Now I
Mark
feel
McGrath.
manipulated.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I look like I'm not intentionally frosting my tips, which is what people think when they see me. They never assume it's because of exercise. Maybe that's just my vibe. But I've also gotten something from swimming that's not these beautiful
Swimmer's
golden
ear?
locks.
That's what I was gonna guess.
I have a fungus. I'm covered in a fungus.
Oh my god!
How exciting!
Yeah, I know. Do you guys want me to leave?
I want to know more about it. To be honest,
I also want to know more about it, but I also think as a topic for discussion, and because I'm turning over a new leaf, I think I should introduce Tony before we. I
And
don't
we
know
can
what's
hear what
happening.
he's covered in. Let's all go around the room.
Tony, no, I do believe that Tony once sent a photo of some kind of ointment to Jackie and me. So Tony has had an ointment.
What?
I did?
Yeah, some kind of ointment.
Oh no, it was a it was
A
like
scalp.
a lotion. It
Yeah.
was like
Listen, we all send some weird texts when we've had a few drinks. Check out my ointment.
So yes, definitely. I feel like we should go around and guess your fun. If only I had
Guess
a
your
jingle for guess your
fungus.
fungus.
Guess
But I also
your
think in this day and
fungus.
age, and I don't want to make you feel bad, but
No, me saying it out loud is me trying to become okay with it because I've been self-conscious about it. No one wants to be covered in a fungus,
No, wait.
but I'm trying to be more honest about it. I'm trying to help others who might be covered in a fungus.
That's
When
what
you
my
say
show's
covered in a
about.
fungus, like, are you waking up with mushrooms that you have to like brush off your body and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I'm like some creature from Lord of the Rings.
Right, like what's going on here?
No, it's a discoloration in the skin. So I think I have some splotches on me that look lighter than the other bits of my skin.
than the non-fungus.
It's-
And
yeah. It's
is
not
this-
contagious,
that's what
so
the
it's
question-
okay that we
okay.
all hugged.
okay.
Okay. Oh, I forgot we did that.
I forgot that too. I was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm not touching him.
Haha, gotcha. See you later, suckers. Enjoy your fungus. No, it's not. It's not. It's called Tenea versicolor.
I've heard of this.
I have a medicated shampoo that I rub on my body. I could also use it for dandruff. Had I dandruff, I do not. That's not the way in which I am gross. It's the fungus. I'm not gross like that.
Yeah.
So it's just these splotches on me, and I think like the bug with
That's
all
in
of
my
the
studio?
eyes that makes you feel less alone.
Yeah.
I can go to sleep at night knowing that I have a living ecosystem on me.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh man.
That needs me to survive.
Oh,
And I can also feel what it's like to, because I don't
Be a
have a.
host?
you're like a
I don't
mother.
have a. Yeah, exactly. I don't have a uterus, so I will never know what giving life is like. But now I
Right.
can play host.
Right. You're like
to
the
these
earth.
organisms.
And you get this from swimming?
You get it from swimming. You get it from
Never
being a
going
little
swimming.
damp.
From being a little, is it like you were damp and kind of just hanging out damp?
Yeah,
That's
I think
what
it's
happens,
if
right?
you're a little damp and you put on a shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. So
So-
it's like a yeast infection of your body, but it's not yeast.
Ugh.
Okay, now it's sounding gross.
Oh, this is now it's sounding gross. Hi, Tony.
Hi. Well,
How's
that
it
was all part of
going?
my intro. It's going good. This is what our third in a row in person.
Oh, my God.
We're on a roll.
Yeah.
Have you noticed I've been nice to you?
Yeah.
Have you not?
I feel like I've heard from you less. Is that how you're nicer to me?
Yeah.
Can't say anything nice. Don't say anything at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of a it's omission. It's niceness by omission.
Yeah.
I've been less mean, I think.
Okay.
Because I'm not about meanness. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It's like that episode of Charles in Charge where
We were all thinking it.
Yeah, where he hit his head and became Chaz. But I don't know what happened on that episode, except that he hit his head and became Chaz, and then he hit his head
That
again.
was a
and
weird
became
convention
Charles.
of the
Yes,
sitcoms of our youth. If you hit your head, you can give yourself an acting challenge. Like you can become some other character for an episode.
But then you have to hit your head to turn back into
Is that what happened to
yourself.
Urkel? Is that why Urkel got cool?
He invented a machine, I think, right, to turn himself into.
Oh, yeah. There was some
But
kind
that wasn't
of
the point of the machine,
invention.
was it? It kind of malfunctioned, and then he became really hot. And Stefan, maybe.
Oh, right.
So-
I don't even know about
I guess
him.
I would assume it was a head bump, knowing what
Yeah.
I know about the storytelling of the day. But
Right.
that also tracks.
Yeah, I'm
given
not sure.
Urkel's interest in
But
science.
it is interesting because it's like the shows existed for so long. Maybe the actors got bored, and then they
Yeah.
were just like,
Yeah.
"I need to play something different."
Right.
This is
The
like,
writers were like, "Ooh,
this is like the third Family Matters reference. Okay, Tony's laughing. What are you looking at?
I just Googled this because I was aware of it, but I didn't know the specifics. And this explanation says Urkel devised the ultimate plan to win Laura's heart, transforming his DNA using a serum called Cool Juice to suppress his nerd genes and bring out his cool genes.
Oh boy!
my God, it was
Everybody wanted to
juice.
go home that day. Jeez, you guys cool with cool juice? I got to pick up my kids at 4, so we're just gonna stick with cool juice.
That's fine. Yeah, whatever. We don't need to rewrite.
Yeah. We'll change that at some point.
We'll change it.
We'll change it. Yeah.
We'll change it. It's the TK for now, but like, we'll change it for sure.
Something like that.
It
Not
definitely
that.
will not air like this. Yeah.
So, just to go back to the fungus for one
Yes.
second.
No. Please.
Oh,
Let's
yes,
dwell
please.
on my fungus for as long as I brought it up in an attempt to be more okay with it. So yes, please. I would
think
love to
that's
field your
beautiful.
questions.
What color are we talking?
So if so if you just note my normal
You're
skin
pretty
color,
tan.
yeah, a lot of swimming side effects there. It's just like a little lighter. There are these splotches that are lighter,
Okay.
and it
Does
would
it
look.
itch or anything?
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. There's no discomfort. Only just kind of a self-consciousness.
Wouldn't that be
I'm
fun
trying
if there was
to-
some bioluminescence or something like that?
Yeah,
You
or
could
if it
glow.
was hallucinogenic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
If you licked me, you would have a little trip or something.
Oh, my God. You'd be so popular
my
among
God.
a certain set.
Right, I could just go to a fish concert and charge dudes $5 to lick me.
Well, you could still do that.
Yeah, I can. It's no matter. I'm like, hey, dude.
I feel like all things considered, I mean, no one wants a fungus.
No.
No offense. But
No.
all things considered, you got a pretty solid, good fungus
Oh, it's
here.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
It's true. I know of a guy who got one, and his dermis separated from his epidermis.
Oh my gosh.
And he had to be put into
love
like
my
a
dermis.
gel, like into a coma. They put him in a coma, and they put him in a tub of gel
Is
for
this
like
real?
months.
This
yes.
feels like the
Months?
plot of something.
Yes.
How come I've never
I can't.
heard?
I'm not going to say on air,
Tub
but
of gel.
Is he a superhero now?
yeah.
Get
Well, they had to like. I know, right?
That is totally like an origin.
Right?
Yeah.
Origin story?
Of dermis
It's
man.
one of the worst things I'd ever heard.
Well,
Like,
it's
it's
terrible.
so painful.
I'm sorry. They make giant tubs of gel.
They're for like
people.
burn victims, like when your whole body
Okay,
is
this
like.
is awful.
So his fungus was it hurt? Do you know? I mean, it had to hurt, right? The skin
I
separating
think
from the other
it
skin.
had to be pretty painful.
Jesus,
yeah.
and they put him in a coma.
Yeah.
And
then
Until
a
it
tub
just-
of gel.
A little gel bath for
Probably
months.
like a little straw.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
I mean, not to downplay what he went through, but doesn't it kind of sound nice to be in a tub of
It does.
I know.
It does sound
a little
I know.
nice.
You're a little
kind of
jealous.
sound
It does.
nice.
A little jealous.
Yeah, maybe if
little
I can
jealous. I
ramp.
get
Yes.
Yeah.
Although, Niccole, and if you guys have ever done, I don't mean to make this a gendered thing, but have you ever done those sheet masks?
Yeah.
I've only done them a couple times, and whenever I put them on my face, I'm always like, "Oh, this is cold and slimy," and I actually don't find this to be self-care at all.
No.
This is uncomfortable.
Yeah, I
but
don't like
people
them
love
either.
them. Do you guys know what we're talking about?
I do, yeah. These are
Yes.
things like that maybe you would get on like wish.com or something. And they're the face masks that
Yes.
Yeah.
look kind of creepy.
It comes in like a this is gal chat. It comes in like a little rectangle pouch, and you lift it out and it's wet, and then you like unfurl it, and then you slap it on your face, and it's got holes for your eyes
Right.
and nose and mouth, and then
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like, I don't even know what it's supposed to do. Just put a bunch of goop on your face.
That's what it feels like it does. It doesn't really feel like it makes your face all that much better. It's just like slopped
This-
on your face
yeah.
for 20 minutes and
But
then
it's very cold
off.
and slimy. But
Right.
people love them. They swear. Thank you. They swear by
Do they
them.
have a slight burn to them a little bit? Is there a
I
little
have always-
chemical burn?
I've never done one that did. Did you? have one?
Yes, and I took it off though because I was like, this doesn't feel. I don't
Yeah.
feel like it's supposed to be
I
burning.
don't do that, but sometimes I'll take Elmer's glue and I'll just put it on my skin. and let
That's
it dry.
fun.
I did that as
That
a kid
is fun. I did that as a
all the
kid, too.
time. I was
Yes.
so into that as a kid.
Just getting like another layer of skin, you just peel it off slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever seen these videos where it's a lizard and people are pinching
Yes.
with the tweezers out of
my
their
God.
nose?
Yes.
No, what?
That's
so
the
gross.
thing. I'm creeped out by it.
Allison's obsessed with this.
No, I'm
it's
not.
disgusting. You love it. You show it to me every night before bed,
Daniel.
trying to get me in the mood, and I can't. I'm not into it.
This confirms.
This lizard video doesn't do it. Nothing will.
Ugh.
This confirms my hunch that you don't listen when I speak
You wouldn't stop talking about it for weeks.
because my algorithm on Instagram was convinced that all I wanted was nonstop people peeling lizard videos, and
Yeah.
I couldn't get it to stop giving them to me. I kept clicking not interested, and more and more. And so I did show Daniel one of them because it was like peeling the lizard, and then it'd be like out of the ear or nostril.
The last little
It was,
thing, yeah.
And all the comments were like, oh, it's so satisfying. And they'd like comment from the standpoint of the lizard, like, thanks, I can hear so much better now, Mom.
Ew.
Oh God, Mom!
Like as if it's not bad enough.
Yeah, it was revolting.
Thinking about a human
at
giving
Daniel.
birth to a lizard and then
It was
This
revolting.
is
caring for
I was
it.
horrified.
Like revolting emotionally, spiritually, visually, on every level. So I did show that to Daniel, and he was scarred by
yeah,
it.
Oh, yeah.
I showed it to
I
him, and I'm
can't.
like, is there something satisfying about this? And he was like, oh, why
Absolutely
did you do
not.
that to me?
I
No.
can't. The skin, like that. The skin stuff is where, like, everyone has a thing that's gross to them, right? And some, a lot of things aren't gross to me, but skin stuff, like, I could never be a dermatologist.
Nope, I couldn't either. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just. Ugh.
I always think about that. Like I'm like, oh, I like maybe I would
we
be able
love
to
your
sue
we love your
somebody.
fungus.
But then you're like, oh, I have to touch like.
Right.
Oh, if I did
Right. It's not. You're not just giving people facials. It's like
It's
no.
not, yeah,
you're
it's not like a
working
cute
on.
little. Yeah, you gotta like really dig in there.
Ugh.
Like those pimple popping videos.
Oh, no, I
I'm
don't
like,
like
that
those.
is just not for
Yeah.
me. People
Why?
love those things.
Yeah,
huge.
I have never been able to get a good explanation for why you would watch that.
Yeah. I don't
and obviously,
understand
no one
either.
here will give it to me because it doesn't sound like there's any fans. But it sounds like the lizard thing is kind of an offshoot of it, right?
I think
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people self-identifying as lizards, I guess.
Yeah. They just want somebody to pull something out of their nose.
Yeah. Don't we all just kind of want to lay on a hot rock sometimes?
Right. Yeah.
There was like a minute and a half where, for a second, there's a lot of weird things happening with time, and there was a minute and a half where
Right.
for a second.
That's all that the algorithm. That's all it takes for the algorithm to say like you're into
The
this.
algorithm is a spaz. Like, it's like, oh, you like this, and it wants to like give you everything. It's like, settle down. I was
No,
just
that's
curious
not-
about this video one time.
There was a second where I was able to handle a few pimple popping videos, and I wouldn't say I found it satisfying, but there's something about, it's got a whole story arc. It's a
Okay.
real like Joseph Campbell situation.
Sure.
I was,
There and back again, right?
there's tension, there's buildup, and then what a catharsis. And then
Yeah,
also, there's like,
Can't argue with that.
you know, like really there's a real money shot, let's just say at the end, which is disgusting though.
But like squirt, like it's squirting. I don't.
Oh my
can I say
god!
that on
Oh
here?
my god!
Tony will have to bleep that.
You gotta leave that for me, okay?
Well,
That's it. Is that usually it?
I think this reveals that I don't watch porn because I don't mean squirting. I mean like just a real like. Actually, there is just like a.
Right.
Maybe I do. Or maybe that is like.
Yeah,
there's-
I don't mean in a pool. I mean, yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Like
a real like, oh my god, that was in there kind of
Come on.
situation.
Enough.
Okay.
oh my god.
It's like opening those eggs where there's a toy inside, but it's pus
Oh my god.
Oh my
Yes.
instead of a
it's
Lego
pus.
guy.
It's fun.
It's pus. Surprise.
What's that cereal that's all like, oops,
all pus.
Oh my god.
I apologize.
There was
to
an
the
accident at the
listeners.
Captain Crunch factory.
Okay, so
Should not have shipped these to stores. Do not
We
buy
made a grave
Oops all
mistake.
pus.
Everyone.
something big in my personal transformation happened this morning. I didn't allow it to happen though, but I saw where it could go this morning, and I want to share it with you guys. I was getting Elliot ready for school, and I was walking into his room getting his clothes, and I had a tissue in my hand because my nose is running a tiny bit, and I
don't like where this is going.
It's not going to be gross. Don't worry. I know it's coming off the heels of something gross.
Yeah.
So don't worry, though. It's not going to be gross.
Okay.
Hang on. Taking a sip of water.
All right. Tissue, Elliot's room. Go.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like, well, there's not a trash can near me. Where do I put this tissue? And like, it's, 90% of it is still good.
Of the tissue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I could just put it in my sleeve. And then I'm like, oh, that's how it happens. That's how you turn into a grandma that has tissues in your sleeve.
Just go, girl.
Because I've never, ever in my life thought of tucking a tissue in my sleeve. And all of a sudden, it just like, I didn't do it because I'm like, I'm not old enough yet.
After doing it, did you have a craving for hard candies?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, do we have anything sweet around here? A Werther's, perhaps?
Yeah. Like,
I'm craving butterscotch.
Craving butterscotch.
or like something that looks like a strawberry.
Yeah.
The wrapper
Right.
looks like a strawberry.
Yeah.
Mysteriously appears. You don't buy it anymore.
I need to have them out of a crystal dish.
Yeah.
I need a Jordan almond.
The candies of the elderly.
Yes. Oh, what are the other? Wait, but back to the tissue.
Yeah.
But it really like my logic really like the tissue's still got a lot of good tissue left on it. I
Right.
don't have a place to put it.
You don't
I
have
could just put it-
pockets?
I didn't. I didn't have any pockets on.
I
Well,
see.
no. What's weird is I did, but it didn't occur to me to put
The
it in.
sleeve becomes your new pocket.
It was so organic. It was so like this. It
this
was
thing
weird.
of like, I know the trope, but I don't know that I've ever seen. Like,
Your
what does that
mom-
mean?
Your mom, I
She
swear,
does?
yes.
What is it? You roll it up in the sleeve? Like, how does it work?
No, it's like, here's my sleeve, and if I had it buttoned,
Yeah.
imagine there's just this is not a good use of audio. Imagine there's just a tissue hanging out in there.
Oh, like just in the sleeve?
Yeah, grandmas
Do that.
Did your grandma have a tissue in her sleeve?
I think she was more pockets lady. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She had big shawls and whatnot and had pockets.
Got it.
My grandma's purse had a lot of tissues.
Okay. But you're aware that the grandmas do this.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma.
They're like
did.
disgusting magicians, like
Yeah.
pulling like a snot out like this, like, oh.
Yeah.
It was in your ear.
So,
the whole
Yeah.
It's so weird though that all of a sudden I'm like,
It's just
it's
a,
like
a
how
thing that
my
happens in your
email
brain.
is sending me AARP stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, not yet.
Slow down.
I will pay full
Yeah.
price at the movies.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Right. And you're getting more formal in your emails that you send people. Like,
Yes, dear
dear
AARP,
Tony.
remove.
Dear Tony, can you please do this?
Okay.
Regards, Allison.
Yeah.
So, what are the old people candies? We got this little hard
butterscotch.
strawberries.
Yeah,
Butterscotch.
Werther's Original.
Werther's
or the big one.
Originals
Yeah.
are the
But
big one.
Werther's originals are pretty good.
Those
they are good.
Well,
Here's the thing.
butterscotch is
All
good,
of these
too.
are good.
They're all good. Yeah.
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 We just don't see young people eating them on the reg. We
Yes.
see all older people.
Right.
Yes.
Licorice all sorts, would you say? Which I think are good.
Oh, the little, they look like little sprinkles. What are we?
Licorice,
those are
all
Good and
sorts.
Plenty's.
Good. Oh yeah.
Good and
Oh,
Plenty's
yeah.
might be a little older candy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, my parents went through a Good and Plenty phase where they were like obsessed with finding fresh Good and Plenty.
My grandmother would get these candies I've only ever seen on the East Coast, which are called chips, and they're like tiny black licorice, like a very, very concentrated black licorice, and they're in these little tiny wrappers.
I've never even heard of those.
Yeah.
I've
Me
never
neither.
seen them.
So I associate that too, but that's probably just my family.
Yeah. Would taffy be one? Like a saltwater
saltwater taffy.
Yeah. I like
Yes.
that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is not only snack chat, it's also a prime yes please or oh.
Haven't we done that for salt?
Have we?
I feel like we've maybe years ago. I don't know.
Well, it's time to bring it back then.
Everyone's forgotten. So here we go.
Yeah. Okay. So, yes, please, or oh, please. This is where we're looking for a hot take on something controversial. Niccole, have you done this segment before?
No, I haven't
You
done it.
could get canceled, so I hope you're ready to.
I'm just waiting to get canceled. It's
Yeah.
taking too long at this
Kiss
point.
your career. Wait, didn't you have a tweet that almost got you canceled?
Oh yeah,
Over
it was
something?
about walking.
Okay. Well, now it's going to be about taffy.
Should we cut this out?
Yeah. So I'm not looking for diplomacy. We're looking for
Yeah, don't worry about all the saltwater taffy.
heads who are going to
People
come
out
at
there.
All the
you.
woke saltwater
Yeah.
traffic and the social justice candy
Just say
warriors.
it.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put it out
About
there.
them. Okay.
So
Worst case scenario, we're on Piers Morgan next week talking about
Right.
it. You
That's
know.
right.
I mean,
You know what?
saltwater taffy, coastal elites, right?
Yeah.
Who loves taffy more than someone who lives by the sea?
That's right.
Okay. So we have a song.
He said, yes, please, give me some of that. Oh, please, that's much crap.
All right. Yeah. So I just want to hear your unbridled opinion about saltwater taffy. Whoever wants to go first, lay it on us. Actually, I'll go
Why
first.
don't you go first?
I'll go first. I have never in my life enjoyed, and I'm sorry to the people of Atlantic City. Is that where it comes from?
No. Oh,
Cape
Or Maryland.
Cod. In Santa Cruz, where I went to college, there was a lot of saltwater
I'm sorry
taffy.
to the
coastal
coastal
East
community.
Coast. It's an East Coast thing,
I've
up and
never
down the coast.
in my life, and oh, now I am getting deja vu. I've never in my life enjoyed saltwater taffy. I think it's cute. I like the little packaging. I want to like it because there's so much variety, and you go to an old fashioned candy shop and it looks fun. But like, and the second it's in my mouth, no,
Yeah.
it's crinkly and it's icky, and it's overrated. I don't like the flavor.
Wow.
I don't like the texture. I don't see, and also people get so excited about it. It's not fudge. I don't get it. Fuck you, saltwater taffy.
This got real.
Okay, it went hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I, as a texture fiend, someone who loves
famously
texture.
I
a
didn't know
texture
that about
food.
you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm all about textures. I
Did
love
not
food
know.
textures, and I'm also textures. So if there's a texture that I don't like, it'll kind of ruin a food for me.
Okay.
But there's just some things I go nuts for, and I love that taffy texture. I love it. It's secondary to the flavor for me. I mean, I think they're good, and like if you can get like one of those peanut butter ones or a marshmallow one, those are really tasty. But as like a texture experience, it's pretty magical. Now, at that same shop where you're getting the taffy, there is also the fudge, which is objectively better.
Right.
That's a better treat at that, vacation town.
SHOP.
St. Augustine.
At the shop. If you're at the shop, yeah, you're going to want to get the fudge. But I think there's something special about that taffy texture.
What and how would you describe that texture?
Just
Waxy?
like smooth, waxy. Yeah. When I know you're saying waxy is a negative, and I'm like, ooh,
mouthful
yeah,
of
give me that wax.
Coat my
Wax
tongue.
my mouth, mommy.
do you take the wrapper off or do you just put it in with the wrapper on?
Oh yeah, I swallow them whole. I just take a handful.
I feel like my take on it is that they all taste the same. Like all flavors taste the same of saltwater taffy, except for maybe like a lime. I feel like it
That's
has to
the
be a
trick.
very- right?
It's
Wait,
the same flavor. And
Yeah.
then they say, oh, look, it's salted caramel and
Yeah.
watermelon and apple.
right,
It's
like
the same
fruit.
flavor,
It tastes
but
the same.
your
It tastes
brain.
Like, it tastes like sugar and texture to me. Like I'm like, I like the texture. It's good. But yeah, I'm always like, this doesn't give me anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. They trick you. They're like,
do.
we are so original. Look at all these flavors we came up with. And it's like, this is just sugar. But I feel like I should say it's watermelon because you said it's watermelon.
Just different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't be there, bitch. Jordan.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just a bitch for Big Taffy.
Chilling for Big Taffy.
I love you, Big Taffy.
I feel like once every 20 years or 15 years, I'll find myself in a place where there's saltwater taffy, and I'll think, do I like this? This seems fun.
Yeah.
And so I'll get a bunch of it. Like, we had a candy shop here that went out of business, but they had like all this retro candy. It was really cool. Very overpriced. But then they had all this different flavored salt. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get it. And it's like I ate 2 of them, and it was
I think for like the fun factor, it seems like an experience. So you want to get it. Like I'll get it too. The other day I went to a restaurant and they gave it to us after the meal. It was like a seafood restaurant. I was like, oh, that's so cute. But then you eat it and you're like, this seems like nothing. And I'm
What flavor was it trying to be?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Sugar. I think maybe a little bit of minty.
See, the mint ones, you'll get those at the restaurant. No thanks. And I usually do like mint, but that's a no for me.
It was a little weird.
Tone Zone.
You're on Shark Tank.
I'm not investing in it.
Dumb question. There is, I assume by the name, because I'm not even positive. There is just regular taffy is different than saltwater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I don't know that I've ever encountered it except in children's literature.
Well, there's
Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, there's
Laffy.
Laffy. There's saltwater, and there's Airheads.
Oh yeah, that's a kind of taffy.
Yeah.
I like
I liked those too. I haven't had one in 25 years. I couldn't tell you the last time I had taffy. I'm not positive I've ever had saltwater taffy.
You are not missing out.
Yeah, I don't eat taffy, so
here's
I'm
a question.
fine. I'm fine.
Saltwater taffy or nougat?
Nougat.
See, now I would go saltwater taffy over nougat. Nougat seems crumbly and dry to me by itself.
Yeah.
By itself.
But it's got like nuts in it, doesn't it? Like it has nougat.
Can you get nougat outside of a candy bar?
Oh yeah.
I guess I only know it as an ingredient.
I think in like Italy it might be more popular. Like it's not a big thing here, but There's even a candy bar. What is it? It has the yellow and the black checkered
Abba-Zaba?
Abba-Zaba. I think that's nougat.
Is that nougat?
I think it is.
Oh.
I guess the Three Musketeers is chocolate and nougat, right? Like that's the
Yes.
Oh yeah.
makeup
I will
of the
defend
That's a
Three
low
Musketeers.
quality nougat.
Sure, that's a synthetic nougat.
I never had the grade A nougat.
Yeah.
The prime.
Yeah.
Real
The good
nougats.
shit.
Real
No,
nougats,
yeah, we don't mess with Three Musketeers.
If you want quality, you got to pay for it. That's the thing.
Weirdly, Abba-Zaba is apparently a type of taffy.
God.
Oh, well.
I was going to say that, and I doubted
I
myself.
feel like taffy and nougat are cousins. I just feel that. I have no idea.
Probably.
I really don't know what
They're both
either.
kind of chewy and smooth,
Yes.
and
But yet,
Right.
if Three Musketeers is claiming that it's nougat and it's so like air whipped and stuff, it's really more of like a mousse.
Yeah, it says it's an aerated blend of sugar, egg whites, and nuts. That sounds like a mousse, right? Nuts and/or fruit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also think it's really funny that when you go to Google and you look up nougat, one of the questions is, "What the heck is nougat?" It's so
people are
cute.
kind of mad when they're
So many people have Googled it that it says, "What the heck is nougat?" It's
Right.
the first question that comes out.
What the heck is
They
nougat?
confidently put it on the package as though people know what it is.
Right.
And it's
Oh,
just
totally.
not a thing.
We're all like, "Oh yeah, nougat. Yeah, I know what that is definitely." Yeah.
yeah, I guess we have a lot of candy misconceptions that we're.
I need to
coping
plumb
with
the
today.
depths of your texture feelings, Jordan.
Yeah.
What's your favorite texture? What's your least
I think
favorite
my
texture?
favorite texture, the most pleasing texture, is the blackberry. I will have a
Like an
bitter,
actual blackberry?
like a blackberry. I will have like a bitter ass out of season blackberry just because I love the texture so much. Like now, like a in season sweet one is like nothing better, but. Like I just always get them at the store just because I just like the feel. I like the mouthfeel so much.
So like little balls, like a cluster of little
A
balls. in
cluster
your
of
mouth.
little
Like
balls. Yeah,
tapioca?
I never neglect the cluster of little balls. Yeah,
What do you think of tapioca or boba?
I'm okay with the thing with boba. I do like the texture of boba, which is very fun, but it makes me feel full so much. So I feel like it's a drink that makes me full. So I don't like that part of boba. But as far as like the little ball
You love little
factor,
balls.
I love them. I love them. And yeah, I know some people are going to laugh because it sounds like I mean testicles, and I do, too. I mean that, too.
They also have lovely texture.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, who doesn't love the texture of a testicle? Put that skin in my mouth.
And what's your least favorite texture?
A tomato.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Allie Ward hates tomatoes
Yeah,
too.
I really don't like them.
Hates them.
Yeah, and you know, tomatoes are just they're on so many things, so you always have to like check with the thing to make sure there's no tomatoes. I'm like, it might not be in the ingredients, but if there are tomatoes in this, please don't put them. And my life is so hard. Oh,
Wait.
I'm so
You don't like the raw tomatoes, but you don't mind them if they're like in a
yeah, I like a
marinara or
pasta
something.
sauce. I like a sun-dried tomato. But yeah, it's just like a slice of tomato. It's pretty gross to me.
I can be picky with the texture of tomatoes too. So I get like Roma tomatoes only and like
Because they're more firm.
barely ripe ones so that they are like
interesting.
easy to cut and not all squishy and juicy.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I get that. I get the tomato thing. I don't really like raw tomatoes either.
You guys know Tony can't handle a banana.
Really?
It's gross, like the texture of it.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
everything about it I don't like.
Banana
makes
on the
sense.
way over.
Especially the texture, though. That's
Yeah.
a big one for me.
I have a small window for bananas. Like I can eat them, but we gonna throw them away after like a few days. 'Cause
What about
I'm
like
just
fried
I can't.
plantains or something?
I like fried plantain.
Yeah, I
That's
can
good.
actually get behind those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to love bananas, and as I've gotten older, I'm finding my tastes are changing slightly. There's certain things like I don't like. I have found lately I went through a phase of about 5 or 6 years where it was like milkshakes. I could just eat milkshakes all day, every day, and just die like eating milkshakes. And now, too sweet. Like I don't know. Like the high sugar stuff is not appealing to me. I'm changing.
Yeah.
At the height of your
Yeah.
Did you take some cool juice?
I think so.
what is a milkshake? But
Maybe it was
but a
COVID.
kind
Maybe
of
it was
cool
COVID.
juice.
Oh, maybe it
Yeah.
did change your taste.
It changed my taste a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll
Or maybe
see.
it's because the milkshakes that have been entering the house have been
No,
low
because
quality.
I got one from a place that I used to like their milkshakes, and I couldn't finish it. It was just too much.
He puts the rest in the freezer and then puts a tissue in his sleeve and he's like, I gotta sit down.
I know. Honey, where's my celery soda?
It's almost time for wheel. You
Never.
You know what was it?
don't like wheel?
I can't.
No, me neither.
I can't f with wheel.
Although Bellamy Blackstone
Yeah.
is now EP of Wheel.
Yeah, Belly Blackstone, who you grew up with, right?
yeah.
I worked with her on At Midnight on Comedy
Yes.
Central. Now she's like a big shot at Wheel.
I know.
Great
I gotta
job,
get back
Bellamy
into Wheel.
Blackstone.
Remember when our culture was obsessed with Vanna White?
Yeah, she had her
yeah.
own music video.
God, she had a moment like in the late 80s.
She had a
was it
music
late-
video?
Yes. Oh, could
Gotta
you
YouTube
find
that.
the Vanna White? Maybe it was just I'm a Wheel watcher. Was that a
I remember
song?
that. That was
Oh,
like
yeah.
a commercial, wasn't
But I think there was a Vanna White music video.
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
I'm
That's right in my
Everything did have a
wheelhouse.
music.
It really is.
Hell yeah, Tony. Yeah, everything did have a music video for, between 1989 and 1994.
Yeah, like remember the Bears had like the rap or whatever?
Oh,
the
hell
Chicago
yeah.
Bears?
I had the VHS
Super Bowl
for
Shuffle.
that.
Me too.
Is that what we're
that's it.
talking?
Yeah,
the Super Bowl
yeah.
Shuffle.
I know it
The
way
baby
too
from
well.
Dinosaurs, like rapped.
my
There was a whole
God.
Dinosaurs album.
Oh, sounds like a great episode of Bizarre Albums.
Did you guys ever listen to the Simpsons album? Simpsons
Oh,
Sing
yeah.
the
Oh,
Blues?
yes.
I used to
Absolutely.
love that. Yeah,
Me
why
too.
did they all have like spin-off albums?
Novelty albums.
Yeah.
Someone should do a podcast about that.
I don't think it sounds very good.
It's a bad idea. Isn't it? Sorry.
That is a good idea.
I'm not seeing it seems like the only things I'm seeing are like parody things that have her name in it.
I swear that there was a music video about Vanna White.
Maybe not everything is on YouTube.
No, it is.
I did a Google also and I'm not really seeing
Okay.
anything.
This is to be continued. I need to search. You know who would know? Ken Reed. Okay. We'll put a pin in this. I
Oh, yeah.
swear. I have to go look up what it was that I'm thinking of. But maybe I'm wrong. Who has the Super Bowl shuffle memorized?
I have bits of it.
I know
I can
quite
remember.
a bit of it.
Could we
Yeah.
hear it from both of you?
Well, why don't we pull it up and then you could hear it for real?
Well, no, I'd
Is
rather
there
hear
a
you guys
karaoke
do it.
version
Damn
you
it.
can do?
It was like I'm Samurai Mike and I stop 'em cold. Part of the defense, big and bold. We had the goal since training camp to give Chicago the Super Bowl champ. We're not here to start no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl shovel.
Hey.
And then there was one that I always had the words wrong because they call me sweetness because I like to dance. Oh yeah.
Running the balls like making romance.
I thought he was saying running the ball like Mickey Momance. And I was like, that must have been he was like, I don't know, he was a player from the 60s or something. Running the ball like making romance. And then I don't remember the rest. Good times. Back when rap was always just like boom, boom, psh, boom, 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 psh.
I am a person and I'm here to say I love this thing in a really big way. Yeah.
Everyone was here to say.
Yeah, I'm here to say. They just had to tell you who they were, what they're about,
You're
like
right.
their hobbies and dreams.
But there were like a whole bunch of knockoffs
Yes,
of
that's what I
that
was
too.
gonna
So there's
ask.
like I think the Bengals had one.
There are a lot of sports teams did.
San Diego Superchargers, San Diego. Anyway, that's a fun little YouTube rabbit hole to go down all the way.
Oh yeah.
There's some hockey ones that are pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. The LA Rams ram it.
Ram it!
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
let's ram it. Yeah,
Let's
sure.
hear it.
Yeah. Well, I
Ram it.
like the real thing because I don't know the words good enough of that one. Give me a sec here.
It would be funny to think about like if that was just still going on and there was a like House of the Dragon album where they all
Oh my
like
God.
rapped. Now I'm a Targaryen, I'm here to say.
Yeah. So 80s.
Yeah.
So the same guy produced all of these. Just did Blow one night and wrote them all.
Highly recommend watching the music video also.
Anyone wants to know what it was like to live through the 80s.
A simpler time.
Yeah, you know, it kind of was.
I think that's all we need to hear for now, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and fade that out.
I like that fade out, yeah.
They've got some killer verses though.
Yeah.
I think we lost Allison.
Uh-oh.
I'm writing Ken Reed to find out. we must find out. Okay. Hi. Was there a Vanna White music video?
I keep imagining it's like, remember Tawny Katane?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I keep imagining it's like Vanna White on a car, just like twirling.
It probably
letters around or
was.
something.
You know what I miss from the
Joke.
80s is novelizations of movies. Not that I would ever buy them, but just every movie that
They
would come
sold
out,
them
there's
at the grocery store.
a book
That's what I
version of
remember.
it.
So like
But there
there
were always weird differences in them
Yes.
too.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the movie would come out and then they would write a book. on
Yeah, it'd
it?
be like Rambo, the novel.
I had the novel of Home Alone.
Oh,
Really? Oh my
how was
God.
it?
That's hilarious.
I think I probably loved it because I loved Home Alone. But yeah, I don't remember if it had any like additional lore on the Wet Bandits or anything. But
That's a podcast I want to hear is somebody to
review the
and,
novelization.
like talk about the differences between
Oh, hey, everybody out there.
the yeah.
Well,
Free idea.
I'm just now realizing how weird it is to do a novel of a movie where the appeal is slapstick. Like someone
Right.
wants to read these jokes.
Right.
Well, and like, how does the writer convey the humor of that through their words?
And then and then he got hit on the head and it went doink.
Yeah, and that's what I'm because like, when the iron falls on his face, that's like not funny. It's barely even funny when you watch it, but then his facial expression is what makes it like,
Right.
we can laugh at that because it's funny.
Right. Right, but
But
like,
yeah, hearing about it, it's probably like
It's traumatic.
a Stephen
Yeah.
King novel.
Exactly. Iron drops right in his face, leaving an imprint of the iron on his face,
And then
it's
a tarantula
yeah.
gets on his face, and it's horrible.
Very
I'm
violent.
realizing I've never seen Home Alone. What? I know. Do I need
honey.
to see it?
I wonder how it would be first time seeing it now.
Me too. I'd be curious.
I watched it like last year, and I don't ever remember movies after I've seen them, so it's kind of like the first time. It seems fairly violent for like
It's
a fun
pretty
kids
violent.
movie. It's like, damn, like they're just getting their asses kicked the whole time.
There's a thing online where these trauma surgeons went through that movie and described what would actually have happened in each of those cases, and it's awful. Like, these guys would have died many times over.
Yeah, I think maybe I would not enjoy it for that reason.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I wonder if the kids would like it. I wonder if they would be curious to see.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you think of it sort of in the way of like cartoons or Looney Tunes were violent,
and it is the bad guys that get these things.
Yeah.
So,
but it is also one of those movies where like the internet just solves it immediately. Like, oh, we can't find our son. Oh, the internet exists, so it'll be 10 minutes before we solve this problem.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But,
right.
So maybe like a modern kid would be confused. Like, why aren't they just texting?
Yeah,
They remade didn't they remake it like
They
a couple years
did.
ago? So I wonder what that was like.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would be curious
I know,
to
I'm
see
curious
like how
about
they
that
account
one.
for
With like a totally different. I mean, obviously totally.
I bet they used like
just a
cams.
40-year-old Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. So Niccole went to the wedding of the century.
Oh my God.
This past weekend.
I did.
We need to hear all about it because I've been
really
looking
did.
at pictures on Instagram. In fact, I was looking at pictures. It was Chelsea Devontes and Yasser Lester, and I was looking at pictures. And then I remembered that you said you were going to a wedding. I was like, oh my God, were you at that wedding?
Yes, I was at that wedding. It was crazy. It was one of those weddings where like the build up to it was very big, and Chelsea was talking about it a lot online and just in person, of course, because they're getting married.
Do you guys know who Chelsea is? So she hosts Celebrity Book Club. I think I know. I was on her
through
podcast.
your
Yeah. And we did Elvis and Me, and then she was on my podcast recently. She was head writer on The Problem with Jon Stewart, and what is she doing? I'm blanking on what she's like done a ton of. She's super funny, incredibly prolific. Right, done a ton of stuff.
Yeah, she has like an overall deal now, so she's working on her own stuff and then producing stuff and making a feature. I think. I mean, she has the craziest work ethic I've ever seen. Like legit, she's very good at what she does, and she is very like prolific is the word. And yeah, I've known her since 2012 or something like that. 2011, we were at the Second City together at the same time, and then obviously out here together at the same time. But yeah, she and Yasser are both extremely extra. Like they always have been since the very beginning. When they first started dating, we were on this show called The Opposition. I was a correspondent, she was a writer, and he would have like dozens, I don't even know, 150, flowers delivered to our offices, like for Valentine's Day, for her birthday, just because, for their 6-month anniversary. I mean, it was wild. And it was just like, who is this person? But he is also perfect for Chelsea, clearly. Every picture they take for their holidays is always wild. So we knew like the wedding was going to be, but it was just, we couldn't have phones during the ceremony or like record anything during the ceremony, but it was like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like a gospel church concert or something. I didn't know what it was. There was a choir. They played music throughout the whole thing. A live band was playing like kind of slow R&B style music. It was like dark. There were spotlights. There were light cues.
Oh my God.
The person that married them had like silver diamond beads hanging down from her face and like a silver robe. And oh my goodness. That's what we were all saying. Like, this is so cool. It was honest. And also like the thing about Chelsea and Yasser is like, they're both obviously hilarious and their vows were really hilarious, but then like super touching both, and that's just, everything was so them. Chelsea wore, I think for the wedding, at least 3 dresses. And then she also had other wedding dresses for like the events leading up to it.
I'm so stressed out.
Where do you do the costume change? How does that factor into the ceremony?
The bridal party, they like would go up to like the little changing areas. Then she'd come back out with a new look.
Wow.
She would like, in her Instagram stories in the lead up, she was like showing different dresses and like kind of like made it a whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I would, as someone who was very stressed out by the wedding planning, like there was something very fun about how much fun she made the whole thing.
Yes.
Like there was like a real spirit of fun, because wedding planning can be very stressful, but it seemed her way of doing it seemed like not stressful. I
really,
imagine maybe it got stressful at a certain point, but it seemed fun.
And you think about how much their work, they work like crazy people. Like Yasser was working, I don't know if I should say that, but he's working on a Marvel movie now. It's a movie now. And so he's been doing that and all of the other projects they have. I'm like, when did they do the planning for this?
I know.
It's very much like they planned it. It was so them. It was so fun. Yeah. And every aspect of the wedding that they like kind of took and threw out the window, they changed it into something super fun and not corny or cheesy at all. And it was just like, It was just crazy. There
They
was
had
like
a billboard with
it had
pictures of their moms.
Yeah, and it said their mom, like at the request of our mothers, a very large wedding, and like they had food trucks. They sawed their cake in half
With a saw.
with one of those saws where both people hold an end of it. And it was like a small cake. Like they didn't do the big huge wedding cake. Like they didn't do any of that. And it was the dress code for the wedding was try and outdo us, which they are literally the most dressed people ever. So it was like all of us were like, "What the fuck are we gonna wear?"
So what did you? Yeah, what did you wear?
I wore like a pink dress, a like hot pink dress with big sleeves, just like a dramatic dress. And I did like cool makeup, and I had like feather pink shoes. And then I didn't see, there were like people wearing like a lot of 70s looking outfits with sequins and things. Yeah, everybody just kind of did something different. I saw a lot of women wearing crowns, men wearing like funky suits. There was a man who had a suit on, but then his shirt had a picture of Chelsea and Yasser on it. Like my friend Erin had these gloves that had pictures of Chelsea and Yasser on them. So it was just like one of those things where it's like you could wear anything you want, you could do anything you want. The vows were hilarious and also, sad that when they walked down the aisle, they were just dancing down the aisle, having fun. And it was just beautiful. It was really something else.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Didn't they also have people like lookalikes?
Oh my God.
That you could.
Oh, I forgot. There's secret rooms. I don't even know how I forgot. There's so many things to this wedding. I'm like, how? They had a 360 photo booth, secret rooms. And so one of the secret rooms was, they had a basketball court. That was like a custom basketball court. They had a Taco Bell room because Chelsea loves Taco Bell. And so after 10, you could get Taco Bell. Then they had a room.
That's a move.
Right?
I'm not a huge Taco Bell fan, but that's a fucking move. That's great.
I know. It was very much like they literally had like a glowing Taco Bell sign and a table full of Taco Bell. And then
Rad. And that's the exact time to do that too.
Right.
Like, don't do it sooner than that.
Yeah. And like all their all their trucks, the food trucks were kind of like not like shitty food, but like in like a really good shitty food that you want to eat.
Right.
So everybody's going to these food trucks and getting whatever they want. It was fun. And then they had a room that was a museum of their relationship.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was pictures of them from all these times. Their clothes from their first date were on like mannequins.
God.
They had videos playing of their
That's so
relationship.
funny.
It was incredible. And then in
That's
that
funny.
room, they had told everybody before the reception, like everybody, stick around and take a selfie with us. We're going to be right back there taking selfies with everybody. And I was like, well, that's crazy because there's like 400 people here. But they had two stand-ins, two lookalikes. So when you went into the museum of their relationship, there was two stand-ins. They were like, come take a selfie with Chelsea and Yasser. It was hilarious.
There were 400 people there.
I mean, I think at least.
Oh my God.
It was the biggest wedding I've been to and the most people I've ever known at a wedding. So it was like one of those moments where you're like, I never leave the house and now everyone I know is in one place and I'm just trying to get to the bathroom, but it's taking me an hour and a half. It was really fun. I haven't been to a wedding in general in so long. And that one was just like, I don't know. It was crazy, but exactly them. And so it was really fun.
Where was it?
LA River Studios, what's that? Pasadena or Highland Park or something? I don't even know. Somewhere out that direction. But it was cool. It was just this big like warehousey place and everything was cool. Yeah. Their centerpieces, they didn't even really have centerpieces. They just had like boxes with Legos where you could like make flowers out of Legos or something like that. Yeah. It was cool.
I saw video like pics and videos of this online. The 360 photo booth you mentioned. Saw a lot of people from that, and I think maybe we all like think this a little bit when we go to weddings. You're like, hey, do you need to make a big deal about just do it intimate, do something personal? But when I saw this shit, I'm like, fuck yeah, this looks awesome. I threw that opinion out the window. And I'm like, this looks like so much fun.
Because I think you can do it. They prove that you can do a big wedding that is so you that it's enjoyable for everyone, including you. Because your friends are going to love the same kinds of things you do, and they're going to be excited by it. I felt the same way because I'm like, I just want to get married at City Hall. I want it to be 5 minutes, and then I want to have a party.
Yeah, right.
But I was like, okay, maybe I want to wear 3 dresses, have Hawaiian shoes, and a gospel choir. I don't know anymore. But yeah, it was something else. I don't even know. Yeah. It was crazy.
It looked like the event.
Yeah, it was really,
century.
it felt very much like an event. It was cool. There was, there's famous people wandering around, normal people wandering around. It was cool.
What famous people?
Yeah, were there Marvel people there?
I wouldn't know who they are though. There was what should I say? Jordan Peele was there.
Thanos?
Chelsea Peretti, Paul Scheer, June Diane Raphael, Adam Pally, like just lovely. And they're all like lovely comedy people. So it's just like, those kinds of people. But it was cool. I'm trying to think if there's any I don't know, any hugely famous. But Jordan Peele, I think, was a pretty big famous person. because he won an Oscar. So having an Oscar winner at your wedding is a pretty big deal. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, I saw Chelsea Peretti posting about it.
Yeah, it was, and it was funny too because I feel like so many people posted like, I didn't take any pictures. I only took this one picture in an alley before I went to the wedding, or like the 360 photo booth. But like, I think because they started off, they had us raise our phones and like promise that we wouldn't take any pictures or videos of the ceremony. And I think for some reason, like starting a wedding off like that just says like phones don't matter. Just have fun.
And it's so interesting to put that much, because you would think that maybe the motivation behind all of that, you know, like all that stuff is like, oh, we want this to blow up on social media, and
right.
But to say that it's not about, there's something nice about that.
Yeah.
Of like, don't take photos, don't take pictures, just like have fun. Anyway,
the energy was crazy. I mean, truly, because like everybody was standing up and screaming as they were walking down the aisle. And Chelsea and Yasser, I mean, I'm close with them, so it's like they both like grabbed my hand and were like, oh, you know, it's just like that feel. It was a different feeling. And I think if everybody would have been holding their phones up and looking, it would have been a different feeling. So it was just so like the love and fun was like palpable. I know it sounds cheesy, but it was. It was so cool.
So sweet.
It was so cool. And they are just, I don't like a lot of my friends' boyfriends. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know why. I'm just not super into dudes. I'm not super into dudes hanging out with me. Like, I'm like, get out of here. But, but I love Yasser, and I always have since they started dating. So just to see like their love and the things they were saying to, it was just beautiful. Yasser said something about like loving her down to his atoms, and everybody was like, you know, it was beautiful. Yeah.
Aww.
It was cool. We all believe in love now. And yeah.
For a second, I thought you meant ADAMS, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. But then I realized ATO.
Oh, yeah. ATOMS. Atoms. Yeah. Down to the bare.
I love you down to my Black Atoms. And then The Rock came out. The Rock came out. He punched everyone.
Oh, my gosh. The Rock. The Rock has the biggest entourage I've ever seen in person. I wrote for the ESPYs, and he was, I don't think he was even presenting. I think he was just there. Or maybe he was presenting. I don't remember. But he has a lot of people.
How? Ballpark, how many would you say?
Probably like 10, including a camera crew following him.
For what?
I don't know. I think it's probably social media purposes. It wasn't like a full-on camera crew, but it was like a nice, like, you know, SLR camera and like someone with a light, and they're just like walking around following him. I don't know what's going on, but I was like, wow, I guess that's what fame looks like. Because the famous people, like in comedy, they're just like the most chill, normal people. But yeah, The Rock was like, I was like, okay, I guess we got a big
movie
group.
star.
Yeah, movie star. Yeah, Black Adam.
I don't even know what Black Adam is.
Either.
I mean, I know it's a movie and it's a superhero, but
He's Shazam's enemy. Come on. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
oh, he's a villain.
Yeah, he's a. So,
Who knew?
And now
would you like to know more? I can talk about it for a while.
Well,
What's
now,
grosser, me talking about that or my fungus?
But now a word from our sponsor, Better. You guys, I'm the queen of segues, and I didn't even segue. I just
You just slammed into it.
crashed that in. Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. It can be tough to train your brain to stay in problem-solving mode when faced with a challenge in life. But when you learn how to find your own solutions, there's no better feeling. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals, no matter how big or small. You guys know I'm very, very into therapy. Been going for a while. It helps me immensely. And I think everyone should be in therapy. And if you are my friend, then I will encourage you to go. That's just a gift I will give you. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. Get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey and switch therapists anytime. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/bestfriend today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, betterhelp.com/bestfriend. Okay, let's do just me or everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought of done. Is it just me or everyone?
All right. Jordan or Niccole, do you happen to have a just me or everyone?
You know what? Yeah, no, go for it. Oh, yeah, I know that some. Okay, I don't think I'm totally alone on this, but I just wanted to take the group's temperature. How does everyone feel about the practice of flipping around on the TV? Just like flip, like, and okay, so I decided to ditch my cable recently. I'm the last person on earth to like ditch my, cable. And
But you love Family Feud.
I love Family Feud. And I have not been able to find a good way to get Family Feud without it. But it was it felt like it was too expensive. So there's Celebrity Family Feud on Hulu, which I like a lot. But like
regular ass.
I just
want to
see. Yeah. So anyway, if anybody has any tips on how to watch Family Feud without cable, I'd love to.
Just get a digital antenna.
Yeah, maybe that's the way to do
Yeah.
it. Okay. I'll get that. Anyway, but and I've started flipping around using this app called Pluto, which is a lot of fun.
Sure.
Very
But
fun.
I wanted to see if I'm like, why do I miss this? What is it about this that I like? And I wanted to see if everybody else flipped around. If you got rid of cable, do you miss flipping around? What's everybody's feeling about it?
First of all, do you know more Americans watch Pluto than all the other streaming services? It's the most popular.
I believe it.
I've never watched Pluto.
I didn't know that.
It's free.
It's
so
free.
That's probably why.
And it just like simulates TV.
Yeah.
It just has channels.
It's
and
Like the
linear.
weirdest channel. There's like a Three's Company channel.
Yep.
Just Three's Company all day long.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
wild.
fun.
It is kind of fun. I
It
would
is.
recommend. I mean, there's no reason not to try it. It's free.
Yeah.
But
The music video channels are fun. They have different decades.
Those are
for 'em.
fun.
Yeah. It's like watching MTV back in the 80s.
yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a flipper. I stayed in a hotel once that had a Sleep Number bed, and I didn't get any sleep because I just spent all of it just switching through my sleep numbers. Like, what is my sleep number?
Try 4.
Dialing it in.
Yeah, so I like to explore options. So I do enjoy flipping through. Now, sometimes if there's too many options, then it makes me feel like I'm going nuts, and then I get overwhelmed. But in general, I do like scrolling through to see what is there.
Yeah, I do too. I hadn't done it in years, I think. And then at the beginning of the year when I was trapped in a hotel in Chicago with COVID, I was just like, I kind of weirdly missed this. And now I have Hulu with live TV, so I kind of have it.
I've been thinking about maybe
Yeah.
trying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fun. I am not a big flipper. I think I would maybe have liked it back in the day more, but then I think I got over it because of streaming. And now when I watch streaming, or now when I watch regular cable, like when I'm at a hotel, I usually just turn it on HLN and watch Forensic Files for as long as I'm at the hotel. I don't even change the channel. I just keep it on. So I don't know. I don't think I miss it that much, to be honest. I do miss, weirdly, commercials. And my friend, she has Hulu with no ads. I can't handle it because I like to talk I need a break.
Gives you the break.
Yeah, I need a break to speak.
You can check your phone during the commercial.
Because I don't like to bother people.
Yeah,
So that's the old thing that I definitely miss when it's not there. I'm like, I wish we had a commercial so I could talk. But other than that,
Well,
I'm fine.
Pluto's probably for you then.
I should get Pluto.
Yeah.
I know, it sounds fun.
Or Tubi. That's the other one. I don't miss it. Yeah, I don't miss it. But I don't really sit down to watch TV anymore the way I used to. So maybe I would miss it if This is when with kids, you just don't have time. For that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that is a very childless person. It's 6 p.m. on a weeknight. I'll watch 10 minutes of Face Off.
Yeah. It's just So
Do you miss flipping?
So I was a big flipper. Kept cable around basically for Family Feud and flipping.
Yeah.
And it just
I'm obsessed with this flipping. I like the idea of calling it flipping.
Yeah. It just there's something soothing about it. It kind of it feels like it's smoothing my brain in a way, smoothing it into a nice piece of taffy. And I love 10 minutes of a movie you've seen 1,000 times. I love a little bit of local news.
and then just getting out and then get out.
Yeah, and then
Go on
leave
to something
the
else.
house. Yeah, so yeah, but Pluto has been pretty good for that. It's simulated that, so I think it might be the methadone I need to get off flipping.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I was wondering how many people still hang on to this weird practice.
I and Daniel don't take this personally. Actually, it's a little bit better in our house right now, but I just miss the days where to turn on the television and begin watching something, it was just one button. I feel like it's so many buttons right now. What are your television watching situations like? Or are you just a laptop watching person?
I have older TVs with Apple TVs, so I have not upgraded anything to a smart TV yet. So yeah, I have a big ass remote with too many buttons, and then an Apple remote that gets
how
lost
many
easily.
things do you have to press to begin to watch something?
I have an older Apple TV and a newer Apple TV, and the newer one will turn on the TV via the Apple TV.
Our TV situation is that.
Yeah,
You just
right. Yeah, right
now. Now you just use the Apple remote.
Yeah, it's
for
better
everything.
now.
For a while, there were
there was
three different remotes.
And you'd press a button and then like 4 different buttons would light
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and then all of a sudden you don't know which thing, and I would have to it was a while ago, but I'd have to call you at work to ask how
I
to
think
watch
one
something.
thing I miss about flipping maybe or just cable in general is just being able to find something to watch was easier for some reason. I feel like now one of my frustrations is just like which app has something I want to see on it, and so it's like, was it on Prime or was it on Hulu or was it on HBO? Like I can't remember, and then some of the apps don't coordinate with the Apple series, so you can't just say the thing and get it. Like it's still frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's the new flipping, is going back and forth between different streaming services, but it's not as satisfying. 'Cause you don't get the different sounds from every channel.
And you don't see part of it.
Yeah, and you don't see part of
Right?
it. Yeah, you don't get to like be like, oh, maybe I'll stop on something I wasn't planning on. You have to be like, I'm actively going to different streaming services.
Yeah, there's that surprise of like, Roadhouse. Remember
Yes.
Roadhouse?
Yes.
This is the middle of Roadhouse.
Yes.
So true. That's actually a really fun feeling. Too.
It is, yeah.
Especially like on a Saturday or Sunday when you're just like laying around doing nothing and you just flip to a random movie like that.
I have that experience with music because if I go into my my music catalog, there's so many things I would never choose, like old stuff. But if I just hear it, I go, oh yeah, I love that. But I'll never choose to go to it.
Right.
It has to be something I stumble on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's a good one though, because I think that I wouldn't notice that, but then when you talk about it, it makes it sound so like delicious.
Yeah,
I like the
I don't
texture
know.
of that idea.
I know, me too.
Right. You know?
It's actually hearing you guys talk about it is making me really upset that I can't do it right now.
Same.
Yeah,
I'm like, I want to go flip.
I'm yearning. I know, yearning for it.
Yearning to flip.
One thing I did appreciate, we went on vacation, and for some reason the TV was parked on
Mario Lopez.
No. Oh my god. Mario Lopez and his friggin' what he does for the promo, celebrity promo or Hollywood. Oh my god. No. It was like the Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah.
And that was just, I realized how much that was just comfort food. And I wasn't even really watching. You'd kind of tune in and tune out, but it'd be like, it was just all that crap, right? Like and I don't even really like it, but there was something so comforting about this endless stream of cartoons.
No, I totally like. I put on SpongeBob when I had
SpongeBob.
over, I'll just throw in a little SpongeBob. Teen Titans Go on Cartoon Network.
All of it. King of the Hill.
Fun thing to be on in the background.
Yeah.
Can I tell a funny Mario Lopez story that might make you like him again?
Yeah.
So, you guys know Cristela Alonso, right?
Yeah.
So she and him are buddies. They've worked on a bunch of projects together. Cristela, big Nintendo fan, so she did a post when a new Super Mario game came out. So she like posted, her playing the game or the box or something, and just comments, and underneath you could just Mario Lopez just put "It's a me."
Oh, no.
And I'm like, come on. That's like the funniest possible thing to put. Anyway, so I like him forever
great.
now.
Yeah.
I don't dislike Mario Lopez. I dislike his show that he does, which is just that brainless Hollywood promo stuff.
Yeah.
It's just on the red carpet, and this is coming.
We caught up with Timothy Chalamet. We caught up with
God.
Caught up,
And then they're like, my
Caught
thing
up.
with those things too is just the questions are such softballs. I get that not everybody's in the industry, but I do think people are smarter than, did you feel weird when you shot the scary movie? It's like, why do they ask these questions?
Yeah.
Like, ask them something that has something interesting to it, some substance.
Yeah.
That's just me. I went to this like a screening, and there was like a variety reporter asking the most softball-y questions to like Eddie Redmayne, and I was like, come on, get the real stuff from him. We want to hear like good stuff.
One thing I do appreciate, and it sounds cheesy, but in those junkets, when the reporters just don't even talk about the movie and they'll have some fun game, because you can see, like, especially with those junkets where the actors are sitting there for a whole day, maybe sometimes 2 days, going over the same questions over and over. You can just see their dead eyes, right? But it'll be like, here, try this, and it'll be trying candy, and like they'll liven up more of that, please.
Yeah,
Like, I don't need
mix
to
it
hear
up.
about the movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Niccole, do you have a Just Me or Everyone?
I do, yeah. Well, I was telling these guys before that my birthday is coming up this week.
Oh, happy
Oh,
birthday.
Thank
yeah.
you. It's on Halloween. I'm excited.
Oh,
I'm
happy
not
birthday.
excited because it's like I don't want. I'm over getting older, but I'm just gonna keep doing it. But I realized recently I've always kind of hated it, but I think the older I get, I think that planning birthday parties is so embarrassing. Like, I don't know if this is me or everyone or if you guys get it, but there's something about like I'm not the type of person that like has a dinner party or has people over. So then with my birthday, it's the only time that I have to ask people to like prove they like me by hanging out. And I don't like that. Like, I don't want you to have to prove it. And this year I was like trying to do a big thing. It ended up not working out because the place was closed. But like, it was just so, I felt like it was embarrassing in this weird way. Like, I don't want to have to ask people who are my friends to hang out with me on my birthday.
I know. It feels like
Totally.
someone should do it for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I feel like you weirdly have to deputize someone else to send the email or something. It's weird.
I reached a certain age where I realized, like, you get to a certain age and you throw your own birthday party, unless you have like a partner, I guess, who might do it. But like,
Well, no, but then you're still doing it. You're just saying, can you send the email?
But that's what happened. Is I have a boyfriend and he sent the email and I was like, that's great. But then I felt like I had to follow up with people and I was like, this is so embarrassing.
it feels weird, but the truth is your friends are thrilled to go celebrate your birthday.
Yeah.
They're not thinking it's weird.
Yeah,
right?
I have
Even though
that.
it feels
like,
weird.
I have that. I'm a burden. People don't want to hang out with me. This is going to be turning into therapy, but no, I'm just joking. But no, it is like I always feel like I'm like, oh my god, there's just. But it's like, of course, people
But they
want to go
want
do
to.
fun stuff
Yeah.
and hang out.
Absolutely.
But and I'm like so down for other people's birthdays, but when it comes to mine, I'm like either someone else plan it or like surprise me. And I don't want to hear about any of the planning because something about the planning is just so like. I don't know.
I know. It does feel icky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just feels like I have this weird thing where I feel like I'm asking people to do too much no matter what it is. I'm like, oh, they don't want to drive to the bar. It's like, why not? Like, why not? But I don't know. I always get like,
I know
You
they're
gotta
your
call a
friend.
Lyft. You got to talk to the Lyft driver.
God,
Who
put
knows
on
what this
clothes,
guy's into?
and you're gonna have to say hi to me and talk. Like, we don't
Gotta
want to
get
do
the
that.
bartender's attention.
Yeah, it's like that stuff. But I don't know, something about it's every year. But I also have a birthday on Halloween, so I think I've been lucky to like never have to plan too much. It's only the bigger birthdays that I feel like I should make a to-do of it, and that's when I'm like,
For your birthday party, it's like no costumes.
yeah. I don't really.
That's this-
People wear costumes. I mean, I'll usually just go to a party. That's what I used to do. Is just go to a party and be like, "This is my party, right?"
Like a hermit crab getting a new shell.
Yeah, exactly.
This is actually my party
This
now.
is now a birthday party.
You're all-
I bring my own cake, and I'm like, "This is so nice of you guys." I'll do costumes. I like costumes and everything like that. But yeah, I don't like having to organize anything or put it together.
This is our Halloween, the show that will be airing before Halloween. What is everyone going to be dressing as if you're dressing up? Well, actually, that's not true. There will be.
No, this is the
group
Thursday
show.
show.
Yeah,
the Thursday
yeah.
show.
So I was telling you all about this earlier. I am going to Austin in a couple of days. I do some skits and bits for this YouTube channel, Good Mythical Morning, and they're having a con out there, and that's going to be taking place over Halloween, and they're like, grand finale of this con is a like Western themed party. So I went to a Western store in Van Nuys to get a Bolo tie to add to my suit. So I think
yeah.
it was. I think it's gonna look cool. I'm not a big dress up on Halloween guy, but I think this is a fun like midpoint.
Yeah.
It's a theme. There's direction. I followed directions. I can go. And feel like I was a good boy who read the directions. So I'm excited about that. That's like a fun built-in Halloween thing that should be kind of cool.
Cool.
And I'm sure people will go like crazy with like nudie suits and stuff like that. But I feel
So
good
there's
about my bolo.
Is this like a traditional Western store in Van Nuys?
It
like
is.
A cowboy store?
It's a real treat. Yeah, I definitely. If you're ever in Van Nuys, it's a really fun place to visit. I've been a couple times when I've needed bolo ties, and they have every Western thing you can imagine, but also these like ostrich skin boots where the toes curve up into little knives. And they've got some wild stuff. And when I was
for impaling people on your.
not an actual knife, but just
Okay.
like a pointy
Okay.
toe. that
That's
kinda
like a
curves
Mexican
up.
thing. The curly toes.
I think so, yeah.
That's a.
And when I was looking at the little bolos on just like a little spinner rack, and the like guy who owns the store came up to me. By the way, this is the only store, this Western store in Van Nuys is the only store I've been in months where everyone was wearing a mask. Anyway,
You would not think.
You wouldn't think. Everybody, all the employees, all the customers was like, hey, way to go. Anyway.
Or they all have COVID.
Yeah, good.
You
Well,
can't tell anymore.
yeah.
You really can't.
Although you would think they'd be wearing like the bandana masks, right?
Oh, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah. Just the I'm doing the bare minimum and also this is my vibe.
Yeah.
But I was looking at the little spinner rack of the Bolo ties, and the guy at the store comes with me. He's like, you want to see the good ones? And he takes me over to this case, and
Oh my
there's
God.
like these $300 Bolo ties, and one of them was a crystal dragon with red eyes, and I'm like,
my God.
maybe it was $300. But I'm like, I mean, maybe I would just wear it around, and maybe this is my new vibe. Maybe I'm always shuffling
become a Bolo
cards.
guy.
How big was this dragon? How big are we talking?
This is a pretty chunky dragon. This
Yeah,
was
I'm saying, if it's that
this is like
expensive.
this is a big boy. He's about the size of a GI Joe.
What type of
Wow, that's big.
what
dragon.
type of person wears that?
Just a fucking cool ass fuck machine.
Is it a fuck machine?
Burt Reynolds only. R.I.P. I don't know. I mean, I would. I mean, if I
What
ever,
did the one you got look like?
it's just like a little. It's just a little kind of pendant, and it has a piece of turquoise in the middle, which I think it looks kind of
Classic.
cool.
Yeah.
Classic.
It's no dragon. It's no crystal dragon.
No, what a bummer. But
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. But
Thank you.
still,
Yeah. Costumes.
What? What are you? You guys have Halloween crazy kids?
Elliot
Oh, boy.
picked our costumes out last Halloween. Last Halloween.
And he stuck to it.
Oh,
Yeah. there's been a little bit of
a slight
wavering,
adjustments,
yeah.
but last Halloween he was really into the Addams Family, and he declared, and I honestly thought he'd forget, but
Yeah.
knew. He declared we were all going as different members of the Addams Family. So I am
That's cool. That's nice that he took into account family costume.
yes. So I am Lurch.
I love that.
Allison
I'm
is
Morticia.
Morticia. He is cousin It. He has this wig that goes up from his head to the floor. With a,
So funny.
I love it.
Owen is Pugsley. Grandma is what is Grandma?
I don't know.
She's I don't know. Is she Grandma?
Is she the grandma?
She might be the grandma. And our dog is Wednesday. And I bought her a
That is
little
so
Wednesday
fun.
dress that I'm having to
come
fit.
on.
And we have black yarn for the pigtails.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
so fun.
That is one of the costumes.
Yes, like Chelsea, he has
many costumes.
Yeah.
Different looks.
It's like
for
going to see Bette
school.
Midler in Vegas.
For school, he's going as the Hatbox Ghost from the Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
And
And Owen is going to be Saturn.
Owen wanted to be Saturn. Surprise!
Planet.
They don't make
He's
Saturn
in love with
costumes.
Okay.
They don't make
So
Saturn
what is he gonna
costumes,
be?
but I got him an Earth costume, and he's got a little moon, inflatable moon that he'll have.
Come on.
That is adorable.
This is great.
Great idea.
This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's obsessed with planets.
Yeah.
Come on. So cute.
So, so that's us.
Yeah.
What about
I gotta get my
Morticia?
situation together. I
You
gotta
cannot
figure out-
let him down.
I know. Tony, what about you?
Good question. I really don't. I haven't heard of anything happening that I'm going to go to.
It's a Monday night, so
Yeah.
yeah.
it's a
So,
weird one.
and I don't really seek it out, honestly. It's one of those things where, if I hear of something that I get invited to, yeah, sure, I'll go have fun. But, I'm not oh my God, I need something to do on Halloween.
To you, it's just pre-Christmas.
Exactly.
What,
Let's
you're a
get this out
Christmas
of the
guy?
way.
Oh,
Oh,
you're-
yeah.
I feel
Big
like I
Christmas
remember
guy?
this. I remember the sweater at some point, right? A Christmas sweater.
It's very likely.
Maybe
Yeah.
one time I was on the show. That's cool.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to be either. I don't know at all. I have no plans or anything. I'm always just I'm the birthday girl until I can figure it out. But I don't know. I usually almost always end up doing something gothy or
Oh, right, you were posting. You're
yeah,
soliciting,
something
yeah.
dead. And then I was asking people on Instagram for ideas. And I swear half the ideas were Columbo or there's some other old, Robert Flack or something like that. Robert something from Unsolved Mysteries. I was
God,
what
that's-
are these
what?
ideas?
That's sure.
But how do people
I don't
get
know.
that? That's
Right.
there's
You
costumes
remind
that-
me of Columbo,
That-
the
how
old
is
man
coming-
lawyer.
It was that, and then the Robert guy. He has they both had trench coats. They both had old
Columbo,
ties
I
and-
can almost if you have that tan trench
Yeah.
coat, you might get Columbo, but
Robert.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Robert Stack.
Stack. That's it. Yes. I was just like, what? But then this one woman who I know, she has an extra shark costume because on
Ooh.
Jellystone I play a
Yeah.
shark. And
Yeah.
so someone was like,
That'd be
be a
fun.
shark. And so she's mailing it to me. Some people are so nice,
so
I
nice.
swear.
Wow.
Like she was just like, I have this, and she took a picture of it. She's like, I'm gonna send it to you, even if you don't want it. Just like, I'll just take it.
That's great.
So
nice.
maybe
But you
I'll
could
be a
do like
shark.
wear that to Comic-Con or something at some point.
Exactly. Yeah. So I could be a shark either now or at a Comic-Con. We'll see.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I would like to say hello and welcome to my new patrons.
Allison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen.
Hello and welcome to Kelly Schindler, and hello and welcome to Melanie Sizemore. Melanie is at the texting level. Now, when you sign up at the texting level, you receive an email with the phone number. Enjoy. And then also, on behalf of Ulysses, I would like to say happy birthday to his lovely wife, Wendy. Hope you have a wonderful day. He loves you so much. So also another reward, if you sign up for my Patreon at the friend level, you get videos of the Thursday show when we do them on Zoom. So this one is in person, so there's not a video for this one, but all the shows that have been on Zoom previously, there's been so many, and there's more coming up as well. Sorry, Tony. We have guests that are out of town
So
scheduled.
they get them on a flight.
Videos of those. And
Guests
they're
of
all
Allison
there.
Rosen is your new best friend. Stay at the Paramount.
You know what I found myself Googling the other day? When you hear like promotional consideration provided by, what does promotional consideration mean?
Yeah, what
Is
does that mean?
Money or is that items? And I Googled it and I don't know. I think it's
Promotional
actually,
consideration.
I think it's not what I gathered. What the heck is nougat? What I gathered from my Googling is that it's not money, but like promotional consideration provided by Sony Stereo would mean like stereos.
Like they get the equipment from
I
the,
think
yeah.
so.
Yeah, it's like when there's a bunch of like MacBooks in a show.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, everybody on this is using
Right.
a MacBook.
Or
Like,
something.
maybe-
I always
Yeah.
thought it was just kind of like these are some of the advertisers on
That's
this.
what I thought, but then when I will you look it up?
I will try.
Everyone needs to know. Promotional consideration.
You only hear it on game shows, right?
I remember when I was a kid watching wrestling, and they would say it when.
Oh,
it would,
really?
Yeah, so that's what makes it like it doesn't seem like it would be a product placement thing.
Yeah.
Typically,
Patreon.com/Allison Rosen.
Yeah.
typically a promotional consideration is a trade where cash and/or products are given as prizes in exchange for mention at the event.
Oh.
Oh,
So
I
like
see.
the Price is Right kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where they give away a fridge and talk about how the fridge is cool.
If they now bringing it back to Wheel, if they did Wheel with the showcase where you get to buy the stuff, I would watch Wheel again.
Where they were in like a little bubble and you'd go around and they always had the Dalmatian.
Huh?
Do you not know what I'm talking
I
about?
know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
At some point with
In a
Wheel, they would
bubble with
pan.
a-
They would pan across a like stage full of prizes.
Yeah.
And there's always
And
like
the
a car, and there was
person
always
who
like a
was
crystal
choosing
Dalmatian or
would be
something.
in a little bubble
they
in
were
the
in the
corner.
you mean in the corner. Yeah.
And they'd be choosing which
Right.
showcase
They had a
wanted.
rotating
Yeah.
thing with all the stuff, and it would be
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, there was like a trip, but then there was like, the porcelain dog,
The ski set.
and the ski
RV.
set.
Yeah.
RV too.
And then at the end, you choose whether you want your remainder on gift certificate or account or something.
I don't know.
Maybe I forget that part,
It was
but I
like-
do remember the Dalmatian.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Half the fun of the show is watching people choose stuff that was like, why are you getting
I wonder
that?
why
Right.
they stopped doing that. Now you just get cash. I'm looking at you, Jordan, like you know. I
I don't know.
why.
Yeah, is this part
Someone
of
was
Pat
probably like,
Sajak's weird Republican agenda? Maybe.
They're like, if we,
I
get rid,
choose the
Work for
prize.
it.
I choose the prize.
Yeah.
if we get rid of the showcase, then there's room for one more puzzle. And that's why the people tune in.
You know what I'm a real sucker for? I don't know if anybody's gone down this wormhole. Is watching YouTube compilations of bad guesses at Wheel of Fortune.
No,
I bet that's
fun.
really fun.
They just kill me. Like I will laugh harder at that than most
A
things.
bird
so
in the hand
obvious.
is worth
Yeah.
two in the flush.
What is wrong with you?
The one that always makes me laugh off the top of my head is the answer is a group of well wishers. And the guy said, guess a group of pill pushers.
Oh my god!
Here they come. A big group of.
amazing.
They're gonna try and give you pills.
That is
amazing.
Group of pill pushers.
If you like what you're hearing, or even if you don't, please make sure you're subscribed. Follow me on social media at Allison Rosen on Twitter and Instagram. Leave us a nice review. It helps out. A 5-star review. Say whatever you want, but 5 stars, please, on Apple Podcasts. We read them on the show. I'm going to read them next week. Not all of them, but some of them. Yours could be one of them. Listen to my other shows, Childish and Upworthy Weekly. I already mentioned Patreon. I'm on Cameo. Niccole, where might we find you? And please plug anything you'd like to plug.
Oh, I forgot about this part. You can find me on social media, Instagram and Twitter at Niccole Thurman, Niccole with 2 C's. And then we'll have more episodes of Jellystone coming out on HBO Max. And there's some on there now, of course. And I'm also on this show called Tuning Out the News on Comedy Central. That airs every Wednesday after The Daily Show.
Oh,
It's
cool.
a cartoon. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
Jordan.
On Twitter at Jordan_Morris, on Instagram Jordan David Morris, and I'll try and post some pics of that Bolo tie if anybody's
Oh my God,
curious.
I can't wait.
I wanna
So
see
follow
it.
me there for hot Bolo content. And I do a chat podcast called Jordan Jesse Go. You can find that every week at MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts. It's a goofy fuck around similar to this. Jordan Jesse Go.
Wonderful.
You
Daniel.
can find it under Goofy Fuck-Arounds on Apple Podcasts.
Right. There's news, entertainment, goofy fuck arounds.
You can just find me at Daniel Quantz on Twitter and Instagram if you are into that sort of thing, which you probably aren't.
Great.
Who needs it?
Take my word for it.
Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
and Bizarre Albums, my podcast every Tuesday. Hear old episodes about the Dinosaurs album and the Simpsons Sing the Blues, if you care about those. They do exist. And then Don't Stop or We'll Die is going to be doing a live stream on November 8th. I don't know all the details of that yet, but I'll tell them when I know
Live
them.
stream?
Yeah.
Tony.
What? Oh, I'd rather it be a show. But we are going to have a small audience there.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. So maybe. Yeah, Allison will be there, right?
Yeah, she'll
Sitting
be
on
there.
your symbol or whatever it was I said that time. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know